with where everybody is right now, these are crucial games, so we got to get going.
Yeah, and we're 2-3, not where we want to be, but I think the main thing is nobody in this locker room is in a panic, and that's all. That's a good thing. Guys are sticking together, and that's the most important.
Right now, we're just not clicking on all cylinders yet, and it's been frustrating. Like you said, we've had those little mistakes, those unfortunate penalties, and lots of things like that. But we definitely believe we can be that offense, and we're looking forward to proving that on Thursday.
It's Giants Eagles. It's enough said right there.
That is true. Both teams do not love the position they're in, but boy, this is going to be a good game when they both go up against each other, especially as a test to see where they both are. What do you think the key is to tonight's matchup, Steve?
Well, for one, they're going to be battling the weather. We got storms coming through the East Coast. Tropical storm hit there in South Florida and the Panhandles, coming up through Georgia, and eventually will be on the East Coast probably this afternoon and tonight. So very, very sloppy. Philadelphia, I believe, has an advantage in that. Why? Jenna, you talked about huge advantage on Thursday night games. The home teams have won all these Thursday night games.
5-0.
Philadelphia's, man, they're getting in a bus. Going right up the turnpike, about an hour and a half compared to getting on a plane. A couple weeks ago, the Vikings flew to Los Angeles on a Tuesday. So the schedule makers, as far as the Eagles, when you're Super Bowl champs, they don't do you any favors. You have a lot of strange starting times, but they did do them a favor as far as the Thursday night game, it being a divisional opponent who they know very well, they can get prepared for quickly, and it's only going to be a bus ride for them. So if Philadelphia can control the football with their short passing the game, neither one of these teams can run the ball very, very efficiently, so it's going to be a battle of turnovers. Eli Manning, can he make enough big plays without forcing the ball or turning the ball over, because the Eagles in their front seven have played very, very well, especially the last 3 games. The back end, the secondary, has struggled. So does Odell Beckham get it going? A lot of double moves on the outside, so Eli's going to have to hold the ball a little bit to try to create some big plays. That's what I expect in a divisional game, contested highly. Big plays are going to be hard to come by on a very, very sloppy field.
You mentioned turnovers. Neither one of these teams is forcing turnovers this year. Now, they're committing a few, but both teams have forced 5 turnovers. That's obviously one a game. That's below league average. So if one of these teams can force the other team into losing that giveaway, takeaway, that is, you talk about all the time, and it's right, for 100 years of NFL football, or 99 years, that's been the most indicative stat. That could be the case tonight as well. But assuming that plays even, assuming one team doesn't have a 3-turnover game, I think the Giants are positioned actually quite well in this game because it's a short week, being the home team, even though they don't have the advantage of the road team traveling, because they are familiar with the Eagles, and because the Eagles right now, oddly enough, even though the Giants lost last week, they might feel better about what happened last week on the field than Philadelphia does. Where the Eagles can ruin this game for the Giants is where we saw them ruin so many games last year, their defensive line overpowering the Giants' offensive line. Because I think if Eli has time to throw, Odell and Sterling Shepard can take advantage of what has been a bad Eagles secondary. But if Eli doesn't have time to throw, as has been the case so often this year, if the D-line, Fletcher Cox with his new redone deal, and his friends can get after Eli Manning, the game can be ended right then and there. If the Eagles' one unit, which was their strongest unit last year post-Wentz injury, if they look like they did last year, that defensive line rotation, that could be enough to beat the New York Giants.
Because this is such a, I don't want to say a weak division, but no team is above 500
Oh, it's a
in
weak
this
division right now.
Well, at least amongst themselves it is. Either team can win or lose and still theoretically be in this just because of where the division is. Who needs this win more to get themselves back on track?
Oh, the Giants. The Giants have great desperation going into this game. The Giants will not recover if they lose. The Giants go to 1-5, their season's over with. They can get ready to have another top 5 pick, because that's where the Giants are going.
They'll probably get a quarterback.
I mean, that's what the conversation is going to be. They got a couple good ones. My man Greer there at West Virginia, the quarterback at Oregon. And the next couple of years, there's some good throwers out there. But no, this is a game where the New York Football Giants will have desperation. Now, I disagree with Nick as far as feeling better about going into this game. Giants don't feel good. They don't feel good. They ain't have nothing good to talk about. They trying to make it sound, oh, we scored more than 30 points. But you lost. Odell Beckham talking bad about his coaches and teammates. And you lost. Your season's on the line, on the brink. Right now, you're 1-4. Like, ain't a lot of good things to come out of that. Philadelphia can lose this game and at 2-4 still be in the playoff hunt compared to the Giants. So I expect a lot of desperation from the G-men tonight.
So I guess both teams lost last week. I think the Giants could say it was a step in the right direction, while Philadelphia cannot. At least the way
if you want to, if that's the way you want to look at it. But when you look at that locker room, I can guarantee you Eli Manning doesn't feel better this week than he did last week. All right? Now, he's not going to do interviews and say that, but you're not going to get criticized by your star wide receiver and your record be 1-4, because you are what your record is. I know the Giants aren't thinking that they're 4-1. They realize that their season hangs in the balance, so I expect desperation. There's no team in the NFL that feels good and is 1-4.
That part I totally agree with them. Their season in its totality. As far as these two teams, the team that could be essentially eliminated tonight is the team that needs it more. But as far as the league-wide, like, the Eagles are still, for a lot of people, an actual Super Bowl contender. That will change, at least in my eyes, and I think a lot of people's eyes, if they go to New York tonight and lose this football game. You're right, they'll still be alive for their division because nobody in the division has more than 2 wins, and I think right now it's the worst division in football. But if Philadelphia loses tonight, and we look at where they are post-Wentz coming back, and it's like, okay, so wait, hold on. Tennessee's offense moved the ball on you. Minnesota moved the ball on you. If you go to the Giants, a team that is struggling like this, and lose to fall to 2-4, when you were 13-3 last year, despite all the injuries, then we have to start, at least I will have to start thinking about the Eagles in a different light.
Even though you know the Eagles are most likely going to pick up a marquee running back, even though the Eagles' offense is most likely going to get better, and this is for the most part who the Giants are.
They do get Mike Wallace back.
They get Mike Wallace back.
The wide receiver, Jeffries, just started to play, so that they're going to get better. All their running backs have been hurt. So you're talking about a team that's going to get better, they're going to get better. Their offensive line is not going to play worse than they have, and they don't have any injuries. So those things with the Eagles, I look at as being promising, even if they were to lose this game.
I'm not going to bake into it that they're adding the running back. I think they could add a running back, but if they trade for LaShawn McCoy or Le'Veon Bell, it would be one of the biggest mid-season trades any team has made in over a decade in this league.
I'll be shocked if the Eagles don't make a move. I'll be shocked if they keep the same roster. Featured running back, Corey Clement. You're going to defend the Super Bowl like that? No. I believe Howie Roseman and them, they're going to get a deal done before the trade deadline and bring in another running back.
All right, we'll talk much more about this game, but on the other side, let's stay in the NFC East. Why is a Cowboys receiver throwing Dak and his coaches under the bus? It's next on First Things First.
Can't blame myself. That would be a very wide receiver league.
Wide receiver.
Is anybody watching that?
Yeah, I'm watching that. The Eagles and the Giants are playing on Thursday Night Football.